Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. So in this video I tried to do an experiment where I loaded up a thick eye case with 49 ammo cases, and in each ammo case I fill them up with buckshot to find out if I weigh 3100 kilos, if I go into a raid, and will 1, I still be able to jump around and run around like normal, and if the stamina has any different effect, and 2, if the servers can handle it. So here are the results in this video. So without further ado, let's crack straight into it. So to do this experiment, I had to buy a thick item case. Cost me about 14 million rubles, 13 million. And then I filled up 53 ammo cases. I'm fairly confident at the end it was 53 or 54 with buckshot. Now each of these ammo cases cost 180,000 rubles each. And you can fit 36 stacks of buckshot in each of these ammo cases. Now each single buckshot weighs 50 grams. So you have 30 of them in each one of them. So 1.5 kilograms per stack. Times 36, and you got about 50 kilo per each ammo case, plus the ammo case itself, so the weight of the ammo case itself. After you do that, I put them all in the items case, and in total, with a few extra in my pouch, rig, and then the actual backpack itself, we were able to achieve 3,100 kilograms. Now I know what you're thinking is, why would you bother wasting your time doing something like this? It's important that we actually test different things within the game, stress testing the server, testing the capabilities of the actual PMC himself, and just actually seeing what breaks the game, etc. Now for me, I always thought it was kind of weird that you could carry so much weight. In real life, I think I've carried a fair bit of weight in my military background, in my career, but there's no way someone could carry a couple hundred kilo, let alone 3.1 ton, into a raid and then run around, jump, and do all these crazy things that we do in a raid. And I thought it'd be interesting to actually see what the result would be, if it even has any different effect, because the other day Slash Puppy and I were doing raids with a thick item case and a thick weapon case in our backpack, and we're just looting like crazy. I exited a raid with 300 plus kilograms 3 raids in a row, and I just thought it was strange that you carry so much weight. Now I need to put out a shout out to whoever it was in my comments in that video. They actually said if you were to fill up your backpack you'd get over a ton, or it might have been 2 ton, but I was actually able to achieve 3,100 kilos. So shout out to that person. Sorry, I've forgotten your name, who you are, but it was because of that comment that actually gave me the idea to test this out, and I'm glad that person did. If you guys have ideas like this, make sure you chuck it in the comments as well. Okay, so the first test we did, we went into an offline mode with no bots, and we just ran around jumping just to see, 1, if the server would load, 2, if it was okay to run around still and jump around, and everything went quite smoothly. We just went in there, weighed 3.1 ton, and I was able to run, sprint, do everything I normally would. I took a pistol to make sure I could run even faster, and it's just weird. I don't know what the answer is to this. Do you put a weight cap on? I think that's kind of lame, but at the same time, maybe it's needed to stop, say, someone going in with 2 thick cases or something like that. I'm not trying to ruin the fun for people, but if the whole realism argument for Tarkov, I love it because it's the fallback excuse for a lot of people just to say, oh, but in real life you can do this. But then when it gets to something like this, people are just like, it's alright, it's just a game. So I don't really know. If people want to have a realistic game, this shouldn't be possible. If you want it to just be a game, this is perfectly fine, and if you want it to be somewhere in the middle, who knows? It's up to you guys to really decide that stuff. I'm just playing games and just having some fun. But anyway, so worked perfectly fine with this raid, no issues at all. I just disconnect and then move into the next raid. Now the next raid wasn't much of a difference. I went into an offline mode raid, turned on the bots though, had it on horde mode, so there was a shitload of them. Went in fully geared, ran around, and no difference at all. It was perfectly fine. I think there was a little bit of lag as the horde waves started spawning in. But overall, the game ran perfectly fine. I didn't have any real issues with the stamina being drained super quick. I could still sprint, still jump. I was jumping all over the place. Everything went pretty much smooth. I was quite surprised, but not surprised at the same time. I pretty much just wait until I get killed. I think I charge around until I die. But overall, that test pretty much just showed that there's no real difference with offline mode and the hordes compared to no bots at all. Now here came the, let's say, interesting test. The one I knew that we were going to have some issues with. I'd heard in the past that if people go in with too much stuff, they can't join the server. So I joined, invited some friends to make sure if I did spawn in, but I hadn't actually physically loaded in on my screen, that I actually had some mates to cover me. But we loaded into the game, and whilst loading in, it effectively said that we connected to the server. We loaded the map, we loaded the loot, but it got stuck on awaiting players. Now, there was a person in my chat that was explaining to me, and he's some sort of programmer for this kind of stuff. He was saying that what's happening is the API between the server and the player is not being able to synchronize because there's too many items. There would be a specific amount of items that the server can handle, and then past that, it's kind of like sending back information back and forth and saying, nah, we can't compute this stuff. I decided with chat, we'd wait 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, we're like, oh, we'll go another 5. We ended up waiting till the 30-minute mark. As you can see, it's going in super time here at the background. We literally just sat there for the whole 30 minutes. Now, a factory raid is a max 35 minutes. I had my 2 offsiders sitting in there where I spawned, made sure there was nothing going on that was going to be a problem. They killed all the players, the raiders, the scavs, and they were just waiting for me. When there was 5 minutes left, we decided to bite the bullet, Alt F4, load back in, see what happened there. It just went into a black screen, nothing else. It was just a plain black screen. And then from there, I decided to Alt F4 again, load back in, and then as it was loading, and disconnect in hope that I'd get to keep the gear at least. Now, I need to put it in perspective here. The item case, or the thick item case, was worth about 13 to 14 million. The ammo cases at 180k a pop works out to be around 6-7 million. And then I spent a shitload on buckshot and had, an SA58, and I think I had a Remington on my back. I was tanked out, so I had about 20 million rubles worth of gear on me. So yeah, we disconnected, and as you'd expect, all my gear disappeared. Now, there's a few things to take away from this. One, if you do go into a raid and you get to the point where you're waiting players and you haven't spawned in, does this mean you should lose your gear even though it's insured or not? And does it matter that you didn't even spawn into the server? Now, it was kind of like this issue where we weren't sure if we were going to get the insurance back. We didn't know I was going to get the gear back from disconnecting, and overall, we weren't really sure if I was just going to go MIA, because I'd loaded into the server and gone into the abyss, and if you go MIA, you don't get your insurance back. So there was a few issues with this, and we were a little bit concerned, but I can show you what happened after this. And what actually happened was, the next day, as I was doing my stream, I go to receive my money back from Ragman, and I noticed I had a factory insurance available to me. So luckily for me, I actually got all the gear back. Obviously, there was no buckshot back because you don't get ammo back in insurance, but it was good to know that at least I got my insurance back, even though I didn't load into a game. So a lesson to learn from this, even though I didn't load in properly to the game, I was able to get my insurance back. Happy days for that. But we do need to be careful about this in the future. I'd actually like a little bit further guidance on where the actual tipping point is on the insurance thing, but it was super happy that I got that stuff back, because that's 20 million worth of gear even without the buckshot. Now, on top of that, I don't need that many ammo cases, so I gave them away to people. But while that's going on in the background, I'll quickly tell you guys, I really hope you guys, just if you do have a little bit of excess money or you want to try and break the game with your friends, do it. I encourage it. Have some fun, mess about, and try and do those random things in the game. And yeah, some things might be classed as an exploit or a bug, but that's fine if you're reporting on it. And I think it's important to at least raise the discussion as well of what do we want from our game, because I kind of feel like this is a bit of a community game now. With Tarkov, we have, a lot of influence from the actual community itself, Reddit, YouTube, streamers. Everyone has a say. Nikita and the development team, they peruse through all these things, Twitter, and if there's an issue, they adjust for how we have it. I think there was a poll for if we wanted a wipe, we patch 0.11, and a majority voted no, therefore there was no wipe. So I really do encourage that you guys, even though particularly if you're new to the game and you've got questions, ask those questions, and if you can't find the answer, then test it yourself. Have fun with it and enjoy this game. So guys, that's probably enough ranting from me from this video. But yeah, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for future content. Stream on Twitch 6 days a week. Go down the link below, give me a follow there. Tomorrow, I am doing a 1 to 40 in labs. 100% labs, not going in any other map. I'll be going from level 1 all the way to 40. It should take me around 30 to 40 hours in my live stream. So if you haven't checked out my live stream, go down there, give me a follow. Ask me any questions. Happy to discuss this video or any ideas you've got with Tarkov. And lastly, guys, I'll see you next time. Prince Ali, fabulous he, Ali Ababa. Genuflect, show some respect down on one knee. Now try your best to stay calm. Brush up your Sunday salam. Then come and meet his spectacular kotori. It's Prince Ali.